Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Professional brothers run through more women than hood dudes. Hey, and I know people are going to be like, Rom, you still on that? Yeah, pretty much, because I just want people to understand and really see the big picture through all of this, right? People need to see the big picture. Now, why do I say this? Well, one is kind of in response. I saw there was a comment on a thread on my video about, the one issue that we don't address in the black community and stuff, or that has to be addressed. Can't remember the title. I channel all this stuff anyway, so I never remember what I actually say. So, and the commenter, and he was being sincere, but, automatically thought, when I talked about these guys, women going for the wrong type of guys and stuff, automatically assumed I'm just talking about Pookie and Ray Ray. And I'm not. Because everybody focuses on Pookie and Ray Ray, but just as many women, really more, have been ran through by some professional dudes. Now understand, I don't say this lightly. Right? Because just coming from just my background and everything, I see what's really happening. See, one of the things in black relationships that we still don't talk about enough is class and status. And that has a big effect on who a black woman is going to mess with. In fact, a lot of dudes throw out the word hypergamy all the time without really knowing the real meaning of the word. The real meaning is to go up in class. So what you have, and I'm just going to say it, as a group, black women are the most hypergamous. And that means they always looking to trade up. Now, whether that's a good or bad thing, that's another debate, but it's just a reality. One thing I've noticed with other groups, they tend to stay within their social class. Sisters trying to move up. Actually, it's logical, really. But see, a lot of times, what happens is like the regular run-of-the-mill guy who got a decent job and stuff, he's thinking she should be looking from maybe Pookie and Ray Ray to him, not thinking there's a level beyond him. And that level is the black professional man. I'm talking about the man who got dual degrees. He got the college degree. He got the professional degree. And he's in his profession, be it an attorney, MBA, a doctor, whatever. And those dudes be running through some women. Because that joint, it can start as early as high school, depending on what high school they go to and where the high school is located. Because if you go to certain places, depending on the place, depending on the high school, if you say you go to this high school, women's ears are perking up. And I've said that before about the high school I went to. I went to a private high school, and anybody who went there would tell you, this was years ago. Like I said, I don't know if the school has the same reputation now, but if you went to a party and said you went to Carroll for people from D.C., boom, that was good for at least a phone number. You got a woman's attention, even if she ain't thinking. So it starts as early as that, and that was a whole status thing, right? You get on a college campus and stuff. I don't think a lot of dudes who comment or think it's all about Pookie or Ray Ray have never been on a college campus. Or if they were on a college campus, they weren't a part of the in crowd. But you go to a college campus, like if I go to any college campus, if I want to know who getting the sex, I'm just going to walk up to some people, especially a black college campus. I'm going to say, all right, who running the yard? Just like that. I'm going to say, who running the yard? And they might say Kappa, they might say Q or whatever. Boom. They the ones getting some play. And trust me, they getting a lot of play. And if anybody doubt that, you don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe that, you got some frat guys running through some women. Some jock guy, the jock thing is overrated. It depends. That team has to be winning for them to get any play. But if you frat or something like that, especially on a black college campus with all those sisters, and especially since most of those, you got more sisters in college. You got more women of all races in college than men any damn way. But shoot, you say that, boom. And like I said, you don't have to believe me. We got two prominent YouTubers in this section who are both Kappas, Kevin Samuels and Alan Roger Curry. Because Kevin Samuels has said it, and I knew when when Alan Roger Curry, I saw him doing a video, he was wearing a cap that said 1911 on it. It didn't say Kappa, but they said 1911. I said, yeah, he a Kappa. Trust me, they probably, and they'll tell you some stuff deeper than I can tell you. All right? Because I was close to that world, but yeah, I wouldn't have done well with hazing. So, and they were hazing hard back when I was coming up. So, somebody would have caught a case with my ass, I would have caught a case. But regardless, those dudes be running through it. And then once you get past college, what happens is you get like sisters that get degrees. You know, some of them in sororities themselves. I'll just say I love AKAs, and they love me back. Some love for my deltas too. But they get in there, they looking to trade up. So what they looking for? They looking for a brother. In fact, they'll play what's called in those circles Negro geography. As soon as they meet you, where'd you go to school? Where you work? You know, who you know, right? And especially you get in that world, it ain't like going to like the regular clubs and stuff. And I've talked about this before, some videos years ago. You know, when I first got out of school, I was going to a lot of exclusive parties, and it was a big difference from like some party where you might meet a Pookie or a Ray Ray, right? And some of these dudes be running through them. You get a professional dude, I'm telling you what. Just with that, think about hypergamy. A sister meets some dude, he professional, he got a degree. He don't even have to be like drop dead handsome or anything. As long as he got, if you tell him he got a degree and he in halfway decent shape and, you know, got some things to show for it, you know, nice condo house, you know, a clean late model car or something, he getting late. He getting some play. Trust me. I've seen this. I've experienced it. Trust me. But I see a lot of dudes don't see that. And they thinking, oh, it's just the Pookies and Ray Rays. No, the Pookie and Ray Rays just leave evidence of their shit. One thing about brothers at that level, even some brothers who wouldn't be considered all that, they might not be frat or anything. If just being in that world, you getting some play at least, because it'll slow down a woman. All right, it'll slow down a woman. Once again, hypergamy. The woman automatically looking to move up. Because even though I've said publicly, in fact, my first video was about Trump and looks, money, and status. I'm just saying it like sex appeal will trump. If you just some dude that women consider sexy, or they still gonna be checking you out. Yeah, I mean, if they consider you sexy, yeah, they're gonna give you some play. But rest assured, you go to a party, especially one of these events. I remember when I was younger, going to parties more. It used to be like First Fridays, none but for professionals. And especially people who live in the DMV area, they know what I'm talking about. Now, depending on the city, you might not see it as much, but I guarantee if you poke around enough, you find some place, it's none but professionals, it's a whole different thing. And then, you know, once you at that class level, boom. In fact, a lot of the unmarried sisters, there's a whole bunch of unmarried black women, because they done dealt with players, professional type of players, where they you know, they in their 50s and stuff. 50s, 60s, when never been married. And so many of them, because they only messing with a certain type. And the thing with them is they ain't cashing out by having a baby. They know what birth control is. You know, because they professional themselves. Trust me, it's a big world. But see, a lot of people don't know that. And plus, too, a lot of dudes, you know, want to put themselves in a superior position. So it's hard for them to put themselves in a superior position talking about a professional dude who got the degrees, who got the money, who got the status. But it's easy to do so with Pookie and Ray Ray, right? Now, understand something. This ain't really new what I'm talking about. I just don't talk about it enough here. But I've talked about this in my books. See, understand, when you talk about the select men, some of them are the bad boys, some of them are the Pookie and Ray Ray, some of them the pretty boys, the no good dudes, the Madden Kings and all of that. Some of them, but I'm going to estimate that number to be about 30% of them. Most dudes, the overwhelming majority of dudes who are going to be considered select, they got there because they got their You know, they got their economics together, and you know they kept in pretty good shape. Seriously, if I meet a brother and if I meet an unmarried brother, right, or sometimes a married brother, I know there's some brothers listening to it now will be like, hey, Rom, okay, now slow down, slow your roll. But if I meet a brother and he a professional or something, or he say, yeah, I'm an engineer, I got an MBA, I'm an attorney or something, I already assume they got a hair. I just assume it. If they single too, if they single, I already just assume it. Now, understand something. Everybody, I mean, that's not going to say every single professional brother, though. I mean, yeah, I can assume something, but he can still tell me something else. But I'm good to lean in that direction. And see, like I say, it's not every single one, but if you look at it, dude, you know, if you've been in that world, or you go to some parties or something, or if you can somehow go to a party or something with nothing but professionals in there, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. All right, and I'm sharing it. And look, here's the thing: this ain't defending Pookie and Ray Ray and stuff, but if you're listening to me, one of the best things you gotta do is expand your mind, because a lot of times people will use that as an excuse, but then it's like, well, okay, so how do you explain these other dudes? All right, how do you explain it? And then also, too, how do you say black women engage in hypergamy without knowing what it means? They trading up. They always going to trade up, right? Or what they consider up. But see, a lot of times if you focusing on the lower end of the spectrum, I'm looking at the higher end of the spectrum, right? And like a lot of those dudes, please. Like I said, you don't have to believe me. Hit up Kevin Samuels or Alan Roger Curry on one there. Like I said, those Kappas, they know. So anyway, right? That's all I got for this one. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and blessings.